mobile delegates, I'm Ashley Esqueda, and it's time for your Mobile Nation's Monday Brief, where I bring you the best of CrackBerry, Android Central, WebOSNation, Windows Phone Central, and iMore. It's been a busy week in tech, so let's jump in. All aboard the RIM coaster, everybody! CrackBerry had a week of craziness after RIM announced they would likely post an operating loss for their first quarter results. That's not good news for the BlackBerry maker. In addition, stock trading on RIM was halted, and Thorsten Hines, the CEO, disclosed that the company had hired a couple of banks to act as advisors for all possible scenarios. There are also thousands of jobs up for elimination, and RIM is basically trying to tread water until BB10 is released later this year. But in an exclusive statement provided directly to the Monday Brief, CrackBerry Kevin had this to say about the RIM coaster ride. It's an emotional roller coaster for me right now too. The thing to remember is that all of these headlines are a reflection of what's done in the past. What matters is what's happening now. And it's clear that RIM is working their heinies off. They're not giving up without a fight. Well put, CrackBerry Kevin. Over at Android Central, the full review is up for the HTC EVO LTE. It's Sprint's newest flagship phone, and it's a doozy. So what did Phil have to say about it? Well, between the gorgeous display, the stripped-down Sense 4, and Sprint's refreshing lack of bloatware, it's a definite winner for somebody already on Sprint, and a definite contender if you're thinking about jumping ship from a different carrier. It's important to mention that Sprint's LTE network is still currently dark, and even when the first cities go live, there will only be 6 of them. So you'll probably be stuck without LTE until later this year at the very least, unless you're one of those lucky cities Sprint's rolling it out to in the next few weeks. So head over to AndroidCentral.com for the full review and all the details. I gotta say, Renee and the crew over at iMore are consistently putting out some of the best iOS editorials in mobile journalism right now. They already went over the low-hanging fruit we'll probably see in iOS 6 when WWDC kicks off on June 11th. But what about the higher hanging fruit? Well, Renee's got that covered too with a huge article that goes over what Apple might take away from other operating systems and recraft to fit into iOS 6 when it's launched later this year. He very carefully considers each major OS and discusses great features within them and how Apple might use them in the next iteration of iOS. There's even mock-ups that he's made, from WebOS Synergy to all the other OSs and their great ideas. It's a very detailed piece with a lot of thought put into it. So head over to iMore.com and give it a read, even if you're a fan of another OS. Windows Phone Central is gearing up for the world's largest video game convention this week. It's E3, and you can bet Danny and the rest of the WPC crew will be on hand. E3 usually isn't focused on mobile gaming, but it's expanding so rapidly we're sure we'll see some really good news and previews of upcoming titles and products for Windows Phone. In addition, they'll be covering the Microsoft press conference. Some of their predictions include seeing upcoming Windows 8 and Xbox integration and more entertainment streaming partnerships. Could we possibly, though, see some Windows Phone, Xbox 360, Windows 8 integration too? Well, anything's possible at E3, so stay tuned to WPCentral.com for all of their coverage this week. Apparently, this is a week of brilliant editorials, as Derek over at WebOSNation posted a directive to HP regarding the WebOS team. The main point, Hewlett-Packard needs to hire people and then keep them. He mentions the fact that almost every director or higher level team member on board at the Think Beyond event 15 months ago has left for another opportunity. Yikes. Okay, turnover is a part of business, but I think we all know that amount of churn is downright scary, especially for a team attempting to do what WebOS is doing. Key takeaways from his editorial are that the WebOS team needs to exceed roadmap expectations and not just meet them, and that impermanence shouldn't be the standard the WebOS team expects while working at Hewlett-Packard. It's a very direct and critical look at how HP is handling the transition to open source, which pretty much makes Derek Kessler the Chuck Norris of WebOS. Roundhouse it up, Kessler! That's it for your Mobile Nation's Monday Brief. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/mobilenations. Check out our network of podcasts at mobilenations.com/shows, and you can follow me on Twitter at Ashley Esqueda. Nations, you have been briefed.